Hey everyone, Pessmore here, and welcome to Staffer Case. And today we'll be starting on Case 2. And what was the one for? Okay, this one's Backstage. And this one is Pet Shop. Creatures. The mutated results of phenomena. An incident occurs at a creature breeding facility. Should I be concerned about who's shown as the cover? No, yes, no, I don't know. Well, let's begin. That sound. He's dead. He's really dead. How was it, you worthless piece of shit? I knew this day would come. Let's hurry. Can't let them find out I was here. Reaching far across these new frontiers. Thanks, Sonic Frontiers. This is all because of you monsters. Whatever, I don't care. After all, it wasn't me who killed him. Dartford Road? Is that real? Hello there. Sorry, kept you waiting, huh? Let's hurry back. What all did you have to buy? What? Is that actual proper grammar? What all did you have to buy? What? Paper for the office, ink, 5 kilograms of tea leaves, you know, things. 5 kilograms of tea leaves? God damn, okay. Sergeant, because of all these case files back here, there's already 0 room. Could we put all that in the trunk? You mean the boot? There's no room back there. That's where we keep the files on theft and robberies. Sometimes I feel like I might be better switching places with those files. Probably. Is it that heavy? I feel like I'm being flattened. It's already been a month since I joined the Manor Affairs Division. I just noticed the acronym is MAD. Like me, when people make fun of Sonic songs. Like it's peak, come on man. Because of the because of the Trump Tower case, the others recognized my talents. But since they could solve most cases with their skills, I was given the task of reviewing cases and filling out paperwork. Typical. At times, I began to question my decisions leading to this point, since that was exactly what I had done back with my old private investigator boss. I do that all the time too. I just make bad decisions in life, you know? Like, just nothing but regrets. But still, I was satisfied enough just from being accepted as part of the team. Didn't think I'd get used to being part of the Manor Affairs Division so easily, but I felt completely adjusted to it all in 1 month. Why do you look so worn out all of a sudden? Huh? I'm not, it's just... I bought snacks too. Feel free to eat if you're feeling peckish. Yep, definitely England. Peckish. Peckish? Who says peckish other than the English? Peckish. The only thing that pecks are birds, mate. So that's what smells so good. Sausages. We're strange. Yeah. Sorry, fly. Oh. Contains 0.2% pork. So what's the other 99.8%? Hopefully it's natural ingredients. But I doubt it. You have to leave some for Cena and Brian though. If it were me in the car, it's like, well, I left some for them, one each. Just one. Do you not like sausages? Well, do you like my... No, it's the packaging. The pig's grinning from ear to ear. I was just wondering if he should be. He's being forced to, mate. Is that your issue? Isn't it normal for him to be? Not really. Feels like putting a big smiling human on a package of a bunch of human meat. Careful. Might be rather effective advertising for cannibals. Yeah. Yeah. And now I have to put myself in the cannibal shoes? When it comes to products, it's important to think of the needs of the customers. Anyway, there's not that much pork in that sausage anyway. Huh? What's this? Now that I'm taking a closer look, it only says contains 0.2% pork. With only 0.2%, why not just leave it out altogether? Yeah, make it vegan, man. A good con artist always makes sure they have an escape route. No. There's no such thing as a good con artist. Trust me, there are. They're so good that you can't even call them con artists. You call them CEOs. What about me? Anyway, if the sausage is only 0.2% pork, what's the other 99.8% made of? Fish? Flour? You don't want to know. Maybe creature meat. Uh-huh. I'm afraid to ask, but what did you just say? You mean creatures? Yet another new term. You don't know? This is rather bothersome, but I guess I should explain. You understand staffers and staff now, right? If mana inhabits a person, we call them a staffer. And if it inhabits an inanimate object, we call it a staff, right? That's right. Then on top of that, if it inhabits a non-human animal, it's called a creature. In the case of staffers and staff, the phenomena takes the form of random powers. Such powers are commonly referred to as skills. Creatures, unlike staffers, can't use skills. Instead, the phenomena manifests itself in the form of body transformations. Transformations? To put it simply, it makes them bigger, or they develop particular characteristics, something in the vein. Can they talk by any chance? Thus, some creatures get quite meaty, and with their excellent reproductive capabilities, they're often used as a source of food. And it's okay to eat? Though there have been no documented cases of creature meat having any adverse effects on the human body, there are some, like you note, who prefer to avoid it since they view it as unclean. However, it's a great flavor with a low price tag, so those with little means are thankful for the meal. Ever since we commercialized creature meat, starvation has taken a steep nosedive. Well, when you put it like that, I'm trying to tell you it's fine to eat, but I didn't expect you to chow down with no objections. Well, it's not bad for me. Guess I got no reason to eat. Surprisingly, no. It's actually pretty delicious. Improving taste. The most important of the body transformations creatures get. Huh. What's next? Mana-infused water? Actually, that might be next. Where? Back? I don't know why this is funny to look at. It just is. Shut up. If you're not talking, then I'm saying it to the voices in my head. Ah! Why are you two so late getting back? You bought sausages. Woohoo! We're strange. I love these. Is something the matter? Bringing wanch gulp rain for wash. Okay, whatever. One at a time. Detective Brian was called to the scene and requested reinforcements? Oh, how did you catch all that? Why would she talk with her mouth full of food as if she thought we wouldn't understand? She's a dumbass. She said, we should all come if possible. That means you too, no? Me too? Seems as though there's a case that he can't solve using his skill alone. What's the case? Where are we going? It's a murder case. It happened at the place on Lisson Street, a creature management facility. The head of the facility. He was caught and eaten by a creature. Okay. What? Wow. Why is Dina's also there? And how is there a threat level to that? I can feel vibrations. She's equivalent to the danger level of a gun. Kill her! I don't know, man. Maybe it's because she could sense lies. Note, are you sure you're alright not going with Pandy? She's your partner. If I ride in that car one more time, I might actually be crushed to death. Wait, did you just say the sergeant and I are partners? Ah, I guess I was the only one who thought of it like that. Yeah, I guess that is pretty much the case though. Wow. Dang. Huh. Shouldn't that come more of a shock? It's pretty obvious you were trying to get a reaction out of me. Bitch. Aww, someone's starting to build an immunity to my humor. I think you're the only one who will consider that humor, Sarge. Look at you two. You're getting along so well. Let's say we are. Then would you please explain the case? Alright, for our two latecomers, I'll lay it out for you myself. Two? Oh, okay, makes sense. The murder occurred at a creature management facility called Woods. It's a place where they raise creatures and do research on them. It's a privately run facility, but they go way back with the Bureau, so it seems they also pass time for that information to go on to the government. But at one afternoon, yesterday, a body was found. assumed to be the head of the facility, Jerry Thompson. Hello. You look a little bit depressed. More accurately, they found a hand that they're assuming was Jerry Thompson's. You're saying the victim was eaten by a creature? That's right. His hand was found in his office, and the rest was found in the waste treatment facility where they disposed of the creature's excrement. Ugh. The victim's office, it was in absolute tatters from what we can only assume was a large creature rampaging on the loose. It was there the creature caught and ate his victim. Not exactly a scene I want to imagine, but it's a scene you're gonna have to investigate. However, I clearly heard you use the word murder, right? If the victim was eaten by a creature, you can't exactly conclude it was a murder, right? I'm not so sure of the details myself, but it seems the Woods faculty include 3 staffers who keep their creatures in check. So it was possibly a cover-up for a murder by one of the staffers. That must be what the higher-ups at the facility are thinking. This case has yet to be looked into by the police. Those higher-ups asked for us by name. Thus, I think we're going to have to investigate the scene of the crime more thoroughly than we did our last big case. We're already here, the scene of the crime. Well, let's hear the rest of the information straight from the horse's mouth. Not a literal horse, right? Can never tell these days. Oh wow! How can I even begin to describe this place? I figured it'd be sort of like a ranch, but it's got more of a factory feel to it. They say there's some research going on alongside the breeding program, no? Ah, thus the choice in interior design. But, am I the only one concerned about the giant in the cage? Yes. What's gotten into you, Note? You scared? That thing's stuffed. You're scared of a stuffed animal. Even creatures don't get that big. You sure? Of course. Look here. Huh? Yep, certified dumbass. How was she even hired? Oh yeah, she's a living lie detector. Whoever is attached to Theta, good luck, you know? She asks what you did at work. If you cheated, there's no freaking way you're getting out of there alive. My hand! I still got my hand attached to my arm, right? Stuffed animal in my ass. That thing's alive! Blimey! And here I was hoping it was stuffed. How could she assume her hope is a proven fact? Maybe that's why she's more positive, huh? Me, I just assumed that my fears are a proven fact. Maybe that's why I'm depressed. Well, if you think about it rationally, there'd be no reason to lock a stuffed animal in a cage. Please, tell me that before I touch it next time. Nah, there shouldn't be a next time. Stop it. Someone's coming! 2 someones! Huh? I see you've all arrived. What was that going on a moment ago? Just Dina being a dumbass. But who's this with you, Brian? Ah, This here's the facilities. Wait, what did you just say? Yep. Why, hello there. Welcome. You all must be from the Manor Affairs Division. I'm the Vice President of Woods Researcher and Security Officer, 9 Beck. I'm also the acting head of the institutions as things stand. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me up. Sergeant Redfins, at your service. And your name was? 9 Beck. I just told you. I'm sorry. I sort of stopped listening in the middle since you were droning on so long. Quite the sense of humor you got there, Sergeant. I hear that quite often. Bullshit. Shall we start by checking the scene of the crime? Since you're the Vice President, Acting President, and Security Guard, it shouldn't be hard for you to get us there, right? And perhaps, is there a room we could use for our field office? If that's what you require, you can use lounge number 2, which is located directly to the right of your crime scene. Great! Then I'll prepare the room for our interrogations. No, I'll take care of that. I doubt I'll be much help this time. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I'll explain later. Sarge, is that alright with you? Seems like you got something irking you. Irk. Wow, so English. You know? Who says irk? Other than the posh British people. maybe the posh Americans. Irk. You know what I say? Something's bugging you. Something's pissing you off, you know? Irk. Nah. If you must, then would you like to come with us to the crime scene, Thena? Sure! Ooh. Oh. Looks like he needs a hand. This wasn't the way this place was decorated originally, right? I figured the place would be a bit of a mess, but this is way worse than I expected, man. It's a disaster. No shit. We kept the room preserved exactly as it was. This is how it looked when Miss Moko came upon it. Who is Miss Moko exactly? I forgot to talk about her. Lisa Moko, one of the handlers here at the facility. She's in charge of the reptile wing. Then this Lisa Moko is the first on the scene. Well then, investigate to your heart's content. I simply cannot look at this any longer, so I'll attend to other business. Indeed, do as you will. Note, are you alright? This is the first time you've seen a crime scene torn up this bad, huh? I'm fine. When it comes to this as a criminal investigation, when I think of this as a criminal investigation, I get strangely calm. Speaking of which, Detective Sienna, you don't normally see the crime scenes. You look quite composed yourself. Well, for me, I saw a lot more of this when I worked probations. This isn't enough to draw a reaction from me. Probations? Sienna started in another department. Then she moved to the Manor Affairs Division about 4 years ago. That's the first I'm hearing of this. What does probations handle? Good old probations. Short for the Probations and Rehabilitations Department. Probations... Right. That's the department that carries away the criminals once we close a case, huh? When I worked there, I had a reputation for being a bit much to handle. I've got a dark past. Huh? Darker than this? Heh. Shilling for your thoughts? Nothing of note. Daltric note. This isn't good. I came here to do a memory survey, but my mind is holding on to one intense memory that is drowning out all the rest. An intense memory? Indeed. A man's scream. The sound of bones crunching, the inhale and exhale of a large beast. That hand over there is all that's left of the corpse, huh? The rest of it, perhaps... When I first heard he was eaten by a creature, I couldn't really picture it in my mind. But after seeing the state of this room and that creature back there, I can't not picture it. Well, I can. I'm too dumb, you know. I'm very dumb. I'm feeling a little queasy. I'm beginning to understand what happened here, but I don't see a single clue that will help us identify a possible murder. From the look of it, one of those creatures went straight for the victim. We need more information on our suspects. Let's join Brian for now. Alright. Alright. He's probably gotten the room ready for my interrogations by now. Once we have a room, setting up doesn't take all that long. Hello? A lot of you are finished with your investigations already. As expected, the Bureau does work fast. Ha ha! Ha! Mr. Beck, why are you here? I called him in. If we're going to question everyone, I thought, who better to start than the Vice President? The other two suspects should be with us soon. Well then, let's get to it right away. Here's my Bureau file. He's the first to hand over his file to me directly. Mr. Beck, I see your skill is coordinate-based object transmission, threat level S-teen. I have no idea what that means. It's one above cult. A skill as dangerous as an armored tank. I'm pretty sure there are steps from a gun to a tank. Maybe from a pistol to a machine gun? Pistol to a grenade? Pistol to rocket launcher? Tank? It's the highest threat level ever shared with the public. Which means there are more of them which are not shared by the public? Or at least that's what it implies. What sort of skill do you possess exactly? With my skill, I could take an object within range and teleport it to another location within range. But showing you will be faster than trying to explain it 100 times. Bam! How's that? That's pretty much it. Ooh. I mean, to be honest, I do the same. Wait, what? Did she just hit him? Quite the painful location for that. Ah, okay. Are your boing loings okay, man? I mean, if you're being arrested, then they don't need to be, but, you know, by the off chance that you are innocent. Are you okay, man? Sorry to surprise. Oh, again? Did she just hit him again? No shit. Right in the boing loings. In such cases, the damage doubles. Let's divide into two groups. Brian and I will take a look around the facility. Xena and Note can continue with this man's interrogation. Understood? Then let's go. We may be in for it with this one, though. I haven't had the time to properly explain why. Anyway, I'll leave what documents I have. I'll have my spork upside down, so feel free to contact me if you run into any problems. Surprisingly, she's quite the light puncher. No, it's that she normally prefers verbal attacks. Mr. Beck, did you perhaps mess with Pandy? 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 Yeah, I may have laid a hand on her shoulder. Ah, that explains it. Sorry, the sergeant doesn't like to be touched. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's quite alright. I was the first to cross the line. That reminds me. The sergeant said she suffers from germophobia, right? That's why she didn't shake my hand. Germophobia? That's not what... Well, I can't be sure, can I? After all, I'm still in the middle of my studies into psychotherapy. Psychopathy. Is that how you pronounce it? Psychopathy? I mean, Pandy's been in her fair share of situations, but you'll have to ask her about that later on. Now that I'm thinking about it, we've been working together for a month now. But I still know jack shit about the sergeant. Well then, shall we take Mr. Beck's statement? Right, of course. What should I tell you about? First off, it would be good to start with how you found out about the incident. Here, you may rest your hands on this table, and feel free to speak from a place of tranquility. Righto! Leave it to me, Oh-ho! I love to see a cooperative mindset. Let's go. Indeed, let's. Speak from a place of tranquility. The hell's that supposed to mean? Statement time! Ready? Go! Why is the background changing color? It was somewhere between noon and 1 when Miss Moko's scream echoed through the facility. Right when I heard the sound, I ran as fast as I could towards it. Bullshit. Though, I was the last to the scene, When I saw the battered door to the office, I had a feeling something bad had happened. When I saw all the blood, my legs felt like rubber. That's when I found out that Mr. Thompson was dead. That's all I can remember. Was that enough? I guess we'll see about that. No? Note, consider this a warm-up. Can you remember how to use the information I collect during the statements? Of course. When a witness is worked up or lying, we detect fluctuations in their heartbeats. So if there's a statement I think might be false, just have to connect the statement with the abnormal heartbeat, right? Well, take a look at the statements and see if there's anything that stands out to you. Huh. So, while you were coming through his statement, Right here. There's a lie in his statement. You found one already? Yep. Are you surprised? Come to think of it, you're just that sort of bloke, aren't you? I guess I forgot over the course of a month. Excuse me, but about this lie, what are you getting at exactly? Don't you already know? Mr. Beck, the part about you running to the scene right when you heard the scream? You were waffling. Wait, how did you come to that conclusion? Do you have any proof? The proof is in the abnormal heartbeat Detective Stina detected, but I can't let on that we're using skills just yet. How do I proceed? You're not quite as smart as you look. Excuse me. If we were bluffing, do you think we could have pointed out the exact part of your statement that was false? And speaking of us, we're already dead certain you were lying. You shouldn't keep on questioning us about every little thing and casting suspicion. You should be telling us the truth. That's your job in this. Detective Tina is a surprisingly good speaker at times like this. Ahem. You see, it's a bit embarrassing. You're right. In truth, I couldn't head directly to the scene. I was in a situation I couldn't get away from. Yes, of course. So what were you doing at that time? Well, due to the nature of this facility, I don't think I can tell you that. Ha ha ha! If you try to back out now, you'll only cast suspicion on yourself. After all, in our eyes... Indeed, I'm sorry. Yet it's my understanding that we have an agreement with the Bureau not to speak about any confidential information regarding the facility, no? Perhaps it was the Chief Inspector I spoke with? I got his permission. He said something about being your boss. Yes, indeed. Ah. Then shall we put a pin on this discussion for now? After all, we should be hearing from our other suspects. Indeed. You've both been terrific. I'll be seeing you. You okay? You look like you want to punch something. Don't punch a note, though. Detective? Chief! Ah! Calm yourself. We've hardly begun our investigation. Right. But the fact that Beck is hiding something shows us you've got a huge harvest to reap, right? The Chief, though, someday I hope to get the chance to legally let him meet his maker. Is this foreshadowing? Chief, I'd like to offer up an early prayer for your passing. Foreshadowing? Stop lying. What's that sound? Sounds like it's coming from outside. Ah, there you are. Detective, sir, ma'am. You're gonna have this human here in custody. No, they cannot. This man, he's the real criminal. Don't let him fool you. Excuse me, what are you two doing? Here now. The both of you need to calm yourselves down, first of all, and... Oh, to see someone so brazen in this world of ours. You've exceeded my expectations once again. Haha. I'm genuinely impressed. Bravo, bravo. Bravo? Really? I said calm down! Calm! Sorry. You only had to say it once. Sure, he said it once. Why the need to repeat yourself? But at least you're calm now, right? I appreciate it if you refrain from shouting. You'll scare the creatures. Excuse me? Yeah. You know what? Let's move past that. Come to think of it, Brian mentioned Something about sending in 2 more suspects. That must mean you two. Suspects? I don't like the sound of that. I'm the handler in charge of the mammals, Kendrick Hawks. And I'm in charge of the reptiles. The name's Lisa Moko. Lisa Moko? I feel like I've heard that name before. You were the first on the scene, right? Yes, that's right. Oh, of course. Then let's start with Miss Moko. No, you'll hear what I have to say first. Eh? I have no idea what bullshit she's about to spout off. What am I supposed to do if she slanders my name? It's quite alright. We are fairly... just do as this lunatic there. Just do as this lunatic says. Alright then. Why are you giving in so quickly? You have something else up your sleeve? Seriously? Then you go later. Okay then. Not a chat. Oh my god. Fucking dumbass! I feel like just skipping on his dialogue. Like, seriously, he's so dumb. Not a chance! Haha! That's playing right into her hand. I almost fell for it. Haha! Nice try. No, you know what? Yeah, you pillock. I fooled you. It was a trick. And hell's bells you caught me. Note, seriously, I'm trying my best not to whip out my gun right now. Calm down, you two. Calm. Stop repeating yourself. No more repeats. You loon, you just don't like to be around me because you think I'm unclean or some nonsense. She ran off. So shall we start with my statement? Is this really over? Done? Finis? You really need to say things once. Maybe if it got through your head once, then it'll be enough. Note, this guy's the criminal, right? I understand where you're coming from, but you can't let emotions cloud your judgment. My word! Detective work really takes it out of you! So shall I explain how Moko is the culprit? No, please, start by telling me what you were doing at the time of the incident in question. After that, we'll get to each of your experiences and why you're butting heads so often. Okay, I guess we could do it how you guys do it. My job here mostly consists of looking after all of our mammals. We've got quite the collection of mammals we breed here. But I heard screams coming from the reptile wing. And of course it's Moko who's in charge of the reptiles. Anyway, I headed in the direction of the screams and found all the madness. I could tell right away someone had been killed. The last time I saw Mr. Thompson was at 11. So that gave Moko 2 hours to kill him. There, I told you what you wanted to know. It must be hard to care for all those mammals by yourself, huh? I imagine you must have some pretty big creatures. No, actually, thanks to my skill, it's not that hard at all. I find it quite pleasant. Do you have a skill that helps you take care of them? Of course! It's because of that skill I got hired on. Note, his bureau file is among the files Brian left behind. Mr. Hawks, your skill is possession-type animal manipulation? And your threat is also Estine? I mean, to be honest, if he controls an elephant or a rhino or a bull, you're fucked, you know? He could just hop on that thing and control it to, like, impale the victim or poor guy. Correct. And thanks to that threat level, life's been hard. I'm only allowed during my allotted times, and even then, it's only along the route designated for me. That's rough, buddy. Well, it is what it is. After all, my skill led me to this job, so it's not all bad. Surprisingly loyal, this one. Position type animal manipulation. So basically you're able to control animals. Of course. What else would that mean? True. Could you show us your skill? That might be hard right at this second. Don't you think? No reason to get worked up about it though. I mean, I just can't reach. Can't reach what? Hold up a minute. I've got it somewhere. I found it. Take a look at this. It's a blueprint of the facility. We're in lounge number 2, right? Mammals. The catalyst for my skill are just down this hall. That's the mammal wing. It's exactly 4 meters away. Yes, and it just so happens 4 meters is the range of my skill. Even if I were to put my hands to the wall and try to use my skill, I never reach the entrance of the mammal wing. That's why I said it'd be hard to show you, but if you were to accompany me to the mammal wing, I could then. So that's what you meant. I was just about to kill you before you got to that point. Well then, please head back to the mammal wing for now. After we question Miss Moko, we'll head that way. Alright, pardon me, but yes? I mean, it's just... I'll wait back where I was, but don't you trust a word that comes out of that bitch. What was that about you being about to kill him? What do you mean? Never mind. You know, I don't know why, but actually I'm not gonna say anything. He didn't make any strange claims, did he? Nothing strange, but quite enough for me to get all worked up. To start, we just asked him what he was doing at the time of the incident. We're going to ask you the same thing. Why is a person like that even working here? He seems proud enough of his work here as a handler. That's the part that gets under my skin the most. You can treat the livestock like humans, but you can't treat humans like livestock. Say that to the CEOs. I really hope this isn't going on my digital footprint. I'm applying for jobs right now. I just can't see what he likes about those monsters. Then this work doesn't really suit you, Miss Moko. That ape is the only one who could find this job enjoyable. Do you know what it's like being welcomed every day by a 4-meter-long monstrosity? We saw that giant creature outside the reptile wing. Are there similar creatures on the mammal side too? Yes, they've got one absolutely covered in fur. I had no idea that they got that big. I figured it was stuffed, which almost led me to a spot of trouble. It's natural to be ignorant to that fact. After all, those things are for military use. Creatures are used as weapons? They were quite useful at the beginning of World War I. One? They're easier to mobilize than tanks. They can also devour a person faster than you can say fuck. Though I never expected it to be Thompson who proved the story's true. Of course, that's how the victim died. If you hate creatures that much, why work here? The money. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Not even questioning it. Right when the boss man saw my skill, he made me an extremely generous offer. Plus, there was nowhere else that wanted me. Speaking of which, your skill, Miss Moko. Let's see here. Command-based animal manipulation? That's pretty similar to the skill on Hawk's file, huh? Honestly, they're practically the same skill. We're both just controlling animals. Would you like me to show you? Huh? Is that alright? Sure, just give me a second. I'll call one over. Sure is taking a while. Seems like she's here. Would you open the door? What? Oh, what is this? A turtle? She's adorable! This is the animal I first saw locked in a cage when I entered the woods facility. This is a pet creature. She's the only one worth looking at in the whole reptile wing. Would you like to pet her? I can make her stay still. Can you make her do somersaults? I can't give her any orders outside of simple movements. Plus, I don't think she has the body composition for that. You can even control the animals you can't see? Yes, it is possible. Generally speaking, if I know the approximate location, that doesn't just go for me. I'm sure that goes the same for most people with skills. I'll send it back to the reptile wing now. Have a safe trip back! With that skill, I bet you make the perfect animal handler. I do. Feeding the creatures for the military would be especially hard without it. They eat an enormous amount of food, so we have special feeding areas for them. Thus we use our skills to move those animals to their designated rooms during feeding times. That last part! Could I get that on record? Sure. I'll mention it again when I talk about how I came upon what was left of the body. Great! Well then, rest your hands on the table and speak from a place of tranquility. The creatures we breed from the military are violent and will eat anything in front of them. So it's quite difficult to feed them in their cages. That's why we prepare their meals for them in a separate containment area and then move them that way. They can weigh over 100 kilograms, but they're quite easy to move with our skills. While the military creature feeds, I rest in lounge number 1 next door. When mealtime is over, I return the creature back to his cage and return to the reptile wing. The skill Hawks has is similar to mine, but for some reason his threat level is higher than mine. It's normally around 1 o'clock we finish feeding the big ones. That's when I found out Mr. Thompson was dead. I think that's it. Huh, interesting. No lies. I see. I'm beginning to understand just why you and Mr. Hawks thought each other are the culprits. Yeah, I said that wrong, but whatever. What? Why is that? For that, we need a good understanding of the layout of the facility. This facility divides its creatures and their care into two wings. One for mammals, the other for reptiles. The reason they laid it out that way is probably due to the special characteristics of their animal handlers. Huh? Because of their catalysts? Mr. Moko and Mr. Hawks, they both have skills that allow them to control animals. But the subject of their control, their catalysts, are opposite. Ms. Moko's skills allowed her to control reptiles, while Mr. Hawes' skill allows him to control animals. I thought his name was Hawks. Whatever. That's why this breeding facility is separated into a reptile wing and a mammal wing, and it's also why each wing is left to the person able to use their skill to control them. Yes, that's right. From what I heard, they originally didn't have the creatures separated by reptile and mammal, managing to care for them regardless. Oh, I see. What's all this have to do with our case, though? Just as this breeding facility is divided into two wings, the crux of this case is also divided into two areas. The crux? Yes, in a way you can say they act as the murder weapons in this case. They are mentioned several times in the documents we've drawn up. So that was it, huh? Okay. The creature's bred for the military? Miss Moko, there's a military creature in the mammal wing, but you're unable to control it, right? For that one, it's up to Mr. Hawks to do the controlling, right? Yes, he controls it. He controls his much the same way I do mine. And just as I rest up in the number 1 lounge, Hawes would have been sitting here in the number 2 lounge while he used his skill. Of course, so in other words, you and Mr. Hawes have one military creature each that you are responsible for controlling. It's possible for each of you to move your creature wherever you wish. Ah, that's why you call them murder weapons! Oh man, I love this song so much. I don't know what it's called, but I want more. Sorry. The crime scene where you found the remnants of the body was an absolute wreck, as if something had been let loose to rampage inside there. I don't know why, but I like the accordion. Very underrated. Is this an accordion? I don't know. I'm too dumb. Miss Moko, when you saw the crime scene, you believed it to be one of the military creatures that carried out the crime, right? I did. And there lies our problem. We have 2 people able to control a military creature into that room. Moko and Hawes. That's what Miss Moko wished to tell us. She wanted to say she wasn't the killer, so it must have been Mr. Hawes who killed him. That's what Mr. Hawes presumed as well. If he wasn't the killer, it must have been Miss Moko who sent her creature to Mr. Thompson's office. The two possibilities are completely opposite to one another. That's right. With our two suspects, in order to prove their innocence, they each had no choice but to accuse the other of being the killer. Hey, that's how it works, I guess. I mean, that's how it worked in Phoenix, right? You can't be innocent unless someone else is guilty. Of course. Yep, a little bit of a short episode today. I'm just getting a bit more tired as each day goes by. Must be life. It's not that the game is not as interesting, but I mean, I'm just tired, man. But how is this chapter so far? I mean, it's really showing that Redfins doesn't have germophobia. So why does she not like being touched? I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling what it is, but I can't exactly say it. I mean, I have a feeling, but yeah. Maybe she was molested, I don't know. Actually, that might be it. Yeah, she was molested. As for Athena, why is she so gun happy? She's like almost as violent as the Doom guy. Yellow hair, kinda like the Doom guy. She might be closer to Samus than Doom guy though. I don't know. Yeah, I think this episode's gonna focus a little more on Athena now. You know, we did start at her car. Now we're spending a considerable amount of time with Athena. And the first one, it was with Redfins. Actually, it was all of them equally, but still. I think Redfins was more prominent in that episode, especially with the roof scene. Yeah. So now it's Dina's turn. If you ask me, I think maybe they'll have their own time together, like after the whole case is done. Like the Redfins and Note roof scene. I don't know what to call those, but yeah. I hope that it's better. And also the music cutoff is a bit weird, huh? It's not very smooth looping, huh? Guess they didn't expect it to stay on the title screen for so long. But come on! You gotta expect the player to be on the title screen for like a long time. Like this music is just a vibe, you know? But then again, it's not as good as Tyrion Cuthbert's. But I digress. Anyway, not much to say. But that being said, thank you so much for watching my playthrough of Stafford Case. And if you like what you see, stay tuned and stay awesome. Good night.